Welcome back here on the show. Good morning to you if you just joined us here on Prime Morning, and we've been through the different segments. If you're joining us here, you're probably a bit late, but of course you can get all the other you've missed on our social media page on Joy Prime. It's on Facebook. Now you can also follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, on Threads. We are there. It's Joy Prime TV, and that's where you can drop your messages and be part of all the conversations we've had this morning here on the show. We still have some more to come, and I'd like to say a big thank you to Nutri Snacks for making it possible for us to have conversations every day here on this very show. Don't forget that it's available in supermarkets, in the markets, everywhere you find yourself. If you need a Nutri Snacks, you definitely get it. It's delicious, it's nutritious, the kids love it, it's a family thing. Please do well to get yours. Now, we say a big thank you to you for also being a part of the conversation we started earlier in the morning. You can still send your messages to us. Our WhatsApp line is very active as well, so you can drop your messages there. We're getting into our conversation of divorce. Now, we started this at the early stage of this month, and we've been through different phases from getting to know what it is to be in a situation like divorce, some of the issues that comes with that. We started with custody. We've looked at so many other issues, and today we're going to be looking at the financial implications of that as well. Now, we've got another story that we'll be sharing with you here on the show, and so you want to also wait for that. But don't forget, if you've got any experience you want to share with us, you can go ahead and send it to us on our WhatsApp line. And if you have any other person who is also going through that, you want to share that person's story with us, maybe you've been privileged to get to know what the person is going through, you can also send that to us. Now, don't forget, divorce is a gut-wrenching experience. Now, whether you have been blindsided by infidelity or had to give an I still love you situation, but I'm not in love with you anymore. These are some of the things that really comes into the picture, and the lawyer has been very kind to, explain many of them to us here on the show. But today, we get to put our attention solely on what the financial implications also looks like. Amma is here with us for the purposes of this conversation. She's going to be known as Amma. She will be sharing her story with us in a bit. But let me welcome our lawyer Sena Hoto Esquire. He's been with us here on the show for, all the period that we started this series. And he's been very, very, very instrumental in we getting to understand divorce, the implications, the economic implications, the psychological, everything. He has been able to try as much as possible to deal with it for us here on the show. He's coming from Parkwood and Mazane, East Legon. That's where you can find them. Lawyer, good morning. How are you doing?
Yeah, Vijay, good morning. And a lovely morning to all your viewers across the world. It's good to be here.
Your weekend was good?
Fantastic.
Too many issues?
This was a very calm weekend.
But you start busy on Mondays because you'll be heading to court.
Well, my day after the studio is quite a packed one, so I'll manage it. I'll figure it out.
You've always managed it well, so yeah. But it's good to have you again here on the show. Thank you so much for making time.
Same here.
Good. Now, Amma is here with us, like I said, and for the purposes of the conversation, she's going to be known as Amma. Amma, I hope you are fine this morning. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Okay. We're going to get into your story. Amma has a very difficult moment she's going through, and we want to listen to her to find out what exactly is happening to her life, her marriage, and maybe when we are done, the lawyer will be able to also walk us through some of the things that, we can all learn from this, and what Amma can also likely learn from the situation she's going through at this point. So let me engage her, and then let's try as much as possible to get what she's going through. Okay. So unfortunately, you will not be able to see Amma's face. She actually wants to be anonymous, and so she will not be able to see her face. But we have listened to her, we have heard her story, and we want her to share the story herself about her marriage, about divorce, and all the other things that she's been through ever since that process started. So let me just get to her, and then we'll talk briefly. Amma, how are you again?
Please, I'm fine.
You're good?
Yes.
Okay, so what stage of divorce are you now? Have you completely divorced? Are you separated? And where have you gotten to now? Tell us that story.
We've not divorced yet.
Okay.
After we got married, we came, then he started acting some way to me. The more I approach, the more it's like putting fire into it.
That was how many years after the marriage?
Okay, for now, I'll say 5 years now.
5 years after the marriage, before she started behaving?
Right after the marriage.
Like a month?
No,
a week?
Weeks. Like 2 weeks to 3 weeks.
After the marriage?
I tell you.
And what were some of the behaviors he put up?
When he woke up in the morning, just like that, do not say anything. I approach him, honey, what will we eat this morning? Are you okay? Like normally, when he wakes up, I'll call. That was when we were courting.
Okay.
I'll call, how are you doing? And say that I'm a busy type. Okay, when in the morning I'll make sure if he doesn't check up on me, I'll check up on him. So that was what was going on. Then we entered into the marriage. So after the marriage, I don't know what that one, he can explain it, because I don't know what happened. Right after the marriage, 2 weeks, nothing, doesn't act as a husband. He just woke up, go out, be calling him. So I even called my dad about it. I told him about it, and my dad was like, no, Amma, wait. Maybe it's part of the challenges. So let's put it in prayer. 1 month, 2 weeks, it's getting worse. So I called the mother, because I remembered the engagement. The mother was like, since my parents are not here with me in Accra here, she'll be the one to stand in any circumstance. So I called the mother and I told him about it. He didn't say anything. If maybe after this conversation he will call to tell me what, I can't really tell. So there I got pregnant 31st December that same year. So I called my auntie and I told her, I'm not fine. So when I went there, she told me it's early pregnancy signs. Then even that one, I came with my auntie to come and inform me. At least he should have been happy to hear that. He got angry. He got angry. And I don't know, I can't explain it. Till now, I don't know his reason for running out of the house there. So now, even the child doesn't know the father. Yes, she will be 4 September 3rd. Yes, she's a girl. And family also called, we sat in, that is 2 years now, to ask of what exactly is the problem right now, that he can't even stay. Even the child, even if it's me that I've done something wrong, at least what of the child? Let's see some father and child, father and daughter relationship. Nothing. The girl only knows me, and I'm the one being the mother, being the father. Honestly, it's really hurting. And I know, and God, I would say God is my helper. Yeah, but then we've separated. He left the house where we rented. The place was due. So I also have to move out of the house because the way the man was doing. And before the lockdown, by then I was breastfeeding her. He doesn't give me money, nothing. So it's my daddy that will be sending me. So the lockdown, and my daddy too, he will come every weekend just to make me happy. Sometimes we go sit at ShopRite, go somewhere, you know, where we're kids, that's how we be relating with us. So the lockdown, my daddy asked me, no, mommy, I can't come, so you should come. So I went, my daughter there. He never called, nothing. And right now, you hear he's here, tomorrow he's there, and It's God.
So he left the marriage weeks after
Yes.
the marriage
Yes.
and didn't tell you where he was going.
No.
And have you tried reaching the parents?
Severally.
They didn't tell you where he is?
No. No.
So the parents were actually telling you they don't know where their son is? Or he doesn't tell them where he goes?
Okay. Long story short, right after the marriage, when we came, we went to see, our church is not gazetted. So we have to sign at the court before going to do the wedding. So the court one, I went with my parents, he too came with the parents, then we signed. So the day of the wedding, the father did not come.
That's on the wedding day?
Yes. So he came with a man that stood in as the father. Not knowing, I didn't know, the mother has divorced the husband, my husband's father. And not knowing the father too is the stepson.
Your husband is a stepson to the father.
Exactly.
Not the real father.
Yes. So when we came, the man came to where we stay, and then he asked, Amma, why would you have done that? Even if it's something that you've heard about me, at least I was the one that went with you people to sign the day of the marriage. If my son will not inform me, what of you? I said, oh, Daddy, please, I don't know. I asked him, he is right here. I'm the one asking how many of you people are coming so that we can accommodate you people. What he told me was that the families are rich. 2, the father is been admitted at the hospital. So the father cannot come. Even Friday evening, that he gave me that message. I said, oh. So even my daddy was like, Amma, are you sure of this guy? I told him, yes, Daddy. So when we came, the man told me that, you know what, he's my stepson. And the mother and I separated. So he is every day listening to the mother. Right in front of him. Honestly, I cried. So when we sat on the issue that is mine, and then the mother stood up and said, I even told my son not to marry you. I don't know you anyway. So why would you even say that? To the extent of, even if your son does anything to me and I come to tell you, he left where I know, went to stay different place, all because of me. So that I will not even come there. I will not even, he doesn't even want to hear anything of me, unknowingly, until the day that we sat there and she voiced it out, that he told the son not to marry me. And we were the same person there telling my people that anything you will stand in for us. The son doesn't give me money for the house. You just drive out, go and chill with friends, be there. I remember one time, it was a co-tenant that gave me condo to prepare to get a breast milk for my daughter. It's very serious.
How did you meet this man? How long did you guys date or court, if you like, before the marriage?
Yeah. I met him at church. I sing. Upcoming gospel artist. So I met him at one church in Kaswade. And then he said he likes me. My dad is a pastor. So everything about church, I can do it. Yes. And I'm a business minded too. So when I came to Accra here, that is what is in my mind. So when he brought that to me, that you want to marry me, I'm smart, I'm this, my energy, he likes it. I think.
And he was a church member?
Yes. He is a pastor. Yes, please. He
The
is
man we're
a
talking
pastor.
about is a pastor?
He is a pastor.
In the same church?
In the same church.
That your father pastors?
No. A different church. A well-known church. I don't want to mention the name. Yes, so even what I'm talking about, the pastor knows about it.
The pastor of the church where he pastors?
Yes. So that's why I met him. And it was a distance relationship. I'll go to Togo, you come. I'm doing my business. So most of the communication is on phone. That is it. After the day that I said, okay, then if this is what has come, even that time, the way he was even giving me that pressure, if I had known,
the pressure to marry you?
Pressure to marry me. Because if I don't ask him anything. And I remember sometime when we got married and we came, I asked him of money to go and fix my hair. Asked how much? 15 cedis. He told me, which salon is taking that money? 15 cedis to go and wash your hair. I was like, really? It's not easy. And I'm a strong person, that's why. And every day I lie to my daughter that he has traveled, that he has traveled, that he has traveled. And she wished one day to see.
That's the only daughter you have?
Yes.
It's okay, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, so my guest in the studio is Amma, and she's telling a story about marriage to a man that they're not divorced yet, but the man has literally left the house. They have a 4-year-old daughter that the man has never seen. The daughter has never seen. In fact, the man left right after he was told that she's pregnant.
Of the house.
So where you live now is still the same place you guys rented before?
No.
After you've moved to a different place?
To a different place.
Was he not? It was not paying the rent.
No,
then that's what you
I
had
was
to
the
do.
one doing it. I was the one doing it. So now, he doesn't even send money for the kid, for the child. How much more?
You get to talk when you call him. Does he pick? You remember the last time you spoke to him on phone?
That was
last year or whatever, 2 years
That was
old.
December.
Last year.
December. He said that somebody, okay, where we were at first, that I left there. He said the woman came and the woman was telling her that she should try and see where we are. Then, that is the main reason why he is calling. And I told him, if you wait for somebody to tell you what to do, then I don't think that it's something that is willing. You've been told to do something. So I don't think you fit in right now.
So as it stands right now, legally you are still married to him? Yeah. There's no divorce yet. Separation, yes, but separation has been how many years now?
4 years.
4 years now.
Yes, please.
So legally you're still married to him. Do you think that at where you are right now you want to really leave and he not coming to see you so you can talk is what is making you feel the way you feel?
Oh.
Or you want him back to the family?
No, please. I don't want him back. No, not at all. My reason for saying that is I don't see him to be a husband. From what I have seen, no, I don't want him back. Since he said he doesn't want the marriage again, and per what the mother even said, I still stand by it. He should come and divorce me. He said it. I wasn't ready. Upon all that he was doing to me, I was even begging him to come home. For no reason. I don't know. At least tell me. So that I can also, so that I also know my mistake that I have done and correct myself. But now, as I'm talking to you, I don't know. I don't know anything. And from what the mother said, I see it's a planting. It's a planting that they did.
With the family?
Yes, I would say him and the mother. I don't know the mother anyway. And for a mother to say something like this to me in front of my family and theirs, it doesn't sound good. She is a mother. If somebody does the same thing to a daughter, till now, not even the mother has called to check up on the granddaughter. How much more the son?
Did you guys at a point, maybe an argument? There's never been any arguments?
No.
Verbal arguments? He's never laid hands on you at any point in time because he felt you were talking too much?
No, but then he has laid hand on me before. That was when he left the house. I called my dad and I told him. So my dad called him. And then, because I've been informing the mother, nothing is coming out. So when I called my dad and he called him, the next day he came home. And I told him that, can we have a talk? I asked him, can we have a talk? He said yes. So as we are sitting like this, and I asked him, I want to know what I have done that he's not even giving attention to me. Nothing is going on. You should tell me. I'm not ready to talk. But then I ask you, let me know what I have done so that I'll be forgiven and then we'll continue. I am not ready to talk. I said I will not talk. So if you don't want me to keep quiet, whatever that you want to do, do it. I said, oh, okay. If that is the case, I hear you. Ah! He slapped me.
For just saying that?
He slapped me. So I also took a spatula. I also stabbed the back of him and then he wanted to beat me up. So it was the co-tenant there that they came in and they said...
How many years ago?
That was 3 years.
3 years ago.
Yes. So that was what happened since we got married. That was what happened. That conversation, that was what happened.
When you look at your daughter, how do you feel as a mother when you look at your daughter of all the questions she's asking you about the dad?
Yeah. I always say that she is my sunshine. I remember when I was with my auntie, she was in my womb. She's the one I've been communicating. I'm not a friendly type. So she'll be the one I'll be communicating. And so ever since she came to the world, honestly, I'm a happy woman. No matter what the father will do, I'm a happy, and I'm blessed to have her. And the way she's smart like me. Even the school, although she did not go there early, but then she was promoted without even my notice. I started with her. I thought what I was doing, it was no use. But then when we got to the school there, the teacher even asked, has she gone to school before? I said, no. I'm the one teaching her small. So I gathered some money. Then I came with her. Oh, she's really good. And her report, even just recently that day, we opened the report that came. She was second in her class. Yes. So I'm very proud. I'm a proud mother, single mother. I'm proud.
At the time when the pregnancy came and you told him and he was behaving the way he was behaving, did you contemplate taking it off at a point?
No.
Did you feel anything?
No. Even because of my singing, I got a contract to go to Canada. But my auntie told me that I should not go because I don't know what I don't know what will happen there. So I should wait after
The baby.
Then I go. So when I even came with my auntie to inform him.
Lawyer Sena is here. Lawyer, I'm sure at this point you understand her situation better. Where is she now? What kind of situation is she in now? If you have any other question you want to ask her, to just for clarity.
It's a very, very difficult, topic to discuss this morning. It's unfortunate that Amma, as we're calling her today, has to go through all of this. Nobody has to go through things like this, and then more especially, no innocent child whose permission wasn't sought and brought into this world has to go through these things. It's very sad and unfortunate. Now, there are a lot of legal issues that popped up as she kept, telling her story. One of my concerns or my question is, how long have you been apart from the time you got married? At what point did he leave the house? And how many years have you been married?
5.
So in essence, he's been away for, let's say, 4 months,
years, yeah.
4 years,
4 years now.
Almost 5 years now. Okay. And since the child was born, there hasn't been any contribution towards the child's upkeep and your upkeep as well. Now, if you look at the facts that we mentioned over the last few weeks as to using them to prove that a marriage has broken down beyond reconciliation, you can easily situate her story amongst some of the facts without trying to give a legal opinion on TV. This is a private matter, and then we can have some details of my opinion given to her privately after the show. Okay. But just so that those who are also watching can also, if anybody is going through something similar, what can you take away from it? The most important thing for me is she willing to, make it work with him? And is he also willing to put in effort to make it work? I mean, it's been over 3 years and you haven't seen him, and he hasn't seen his daughter. And from your description or narration of the facts, you're no longer interested in having the marriage, continue. So in effect, the marriage has broken down beyond reconciliation. And so you want to take steps to formalize that breakdown, if you put it that way. The difficulty is from the narration, she doesn't seem to want to do the process herself. She's waiting for the husband to initiate it. I don't know if I'm right.
The issue is they don't even know where she is. No, but she would have wanted him to come and initiate it. But you were saying that she can initiate it without. Yes. How do they find him? The court will find him?
Okay. So from the story, she indicated that he's a pastor of a well-known church. And then she's spoken to him somewhere December last year.
Last year, December, yeah.
And we know the house, or she knows the house of the family members. So it's not as if he's, vanished from the face of the earth. The church is a popular one, and their leadership within the church. So finding him won't be a problem.
Okay.
There are laws in this country. You can't give birth and then abandon that child whilst the law places responsibilities on your head or on your shoulders, whichever gives you the heaviest weight.
Yeah.
You know, so I believe that the issues from the story first has to do with the dissolution of the marriage. Then second has to do with maintenance or upkeep for the child. And then possibly alimony for her. And finally, who gets to keep the child, which is custody. So these are a myriad of issues that we have to consider. We have dealt with, you know, the divorce aspect of it in the previous episodes.
Yeah.
And so it's clear that she falls within, you know, separation for, she's been separated for more than 2 years, not up to 5 years, but I'm sure it will be 5 years somewhere this year. So she's within the 5-year rule. And so she can easily, you know, make an application to the court or file a petition. Let me use the proper language. File a petition to the court indicating that she's been separated from her husband for more than 5 years or for 5 years. And when you do the 5 years, you don't need permission from your husband.
Okay.
And so you can easily file the application and you don't need to prove anything beyond the fact that you have been separated for that long. If she doesn't meet that requirement and then she meets the 2-year requirement, she can also either by herself or on her behalf have an application filed, a petition filed to the court. And then, yes, she would need the consent of the husband, but that consent cannot be unreasonably withheld. If it is unreasonably withheld by the husband, then the court will intervene and then have the process go through, and then she can, you know, be legally divorced, and then she can have she can be or do whatever she wants to do with her life. I believe, you know, it's been 3 years or more, and so by now you would have been talking to some other people, and so you want to do the switch and then give the other person the opportunity to formally get into your life and then, you know, reap all the
start
benefits.
A new life
start a new life with that other person. And so it will be just unfair for the husband now to deny her of this opportunity that she can benefit from. And then again, when she goes through that process, when the petition is filed and she goes through that process, she can ask from the court that the court grant her custody of the child. We will look at what the courts would consider in deciding who gets custody. Let me use her case particularly so that I just talk specifically about that. And so if you have a child and then that child is a female, probability that the father will be given the custody of that child is extremely, extremely low.
Okay.
In law, you never say never, but it's extremely low. Because it's a female child, and she's 4 years, and so that is not going to happen. Also, the court will consider who has the child got used to being with. So the child has grown up with the mother, hasn't even seen the father before. And so assuming the mother's character is impeached and we have to give that child to the father, the child doesn't even know the father. And so that child will not find happiness, will not be able to connect with the father. And then the ultimate goal of the court when it comes to custody is the best interest of the child. And so when we look at these matters, the best interest of the child will be to be with the person that has had temporal custody or who she has been with throughout her years on earth. And that will be the mother. And so these can be formally conferred, you know, by the court when that process, you know, goes through. And then again, when it comes to maintenance for the child, you know, under Ghanaian law, a couple of years ago, it was solely the responsibility of the father to maintain the child and then the wife. But we have moved on. When you take a closer read of the Matrimonial Causes Act, the Courts Act, and all the other bundle of laws that regulate this space, that responsibility falls on the parents. So both the mother and then the father. The father has a role to play. And if you read the line of cases, you would realize that it is not enough for the father to say, I don't have money. It is not enough. What is your earning capacity? Are you able? Do you have any qualifications? Do you have any skill set? And more importantly, can you acquire those skill sets? From the story, she made a point that he drives away with his friends to go and have fun. So that means he drives. And we all know the average cost of cars in this country as of today. And so it is not possible that a father of a stature, or as described by our Amma today, will not be able to take care of the child. And so when this process begins, she can make an application to the court, and then the court will make an order. So that order will force the father to make contributions towards the upkeep of the child. And that order can even be served on his workplace. Okay. So fortunately, we know he's with a church and then he's a pastor. You can't even run away abroad, because if where you go, the country has a bilateral agreement with them. If you look at the Courts Act, it allows the court to be able to serve it over there, wherever you find yourself. And so it's just, preposterous to hear that a father abandons their child and then they don't take care of them. You can only get away with it if the person doesn't go to court. We're not advocating and trying to say that go to court for the fun of it. But a child needs to be taken care of by their parents. And so if you have decided to bring a child into this world, then you are responsible, both of you are responsible for the upkeep of that child. And so I put it, she can, if she decides to go through the process herself, either by herself or through counsel, make an application, file a petition to the court. Some of these matters can be determined, key amongst which is the dissolution of the marriage that would allow her to move on with her life, and then custody of the daughter, which from the discussions without preempting the power of the court to make a pronouncement, we say she has a very good chance of having that baby custody given to her. And then the court will also make a determination on the upkeep of that child. So we'll look at what is she going to eat? Where will she stay? How much will be her school fees? And so it is not enough to say that, I am poor and so I cannot afford. It's not enough. Okay.
I'll get back to you again, Lawyer, but let me ask Amma a few questions. So, first of all, how do you take care of the child? What do you do?
I'm into local beverages and pastries.
Okay.
Yes. And so that's what I do to earn a living also. And because of her, I can't go anywhere to minister.
So that part of your job is on hold now?
Yes. So I'm into the local beverages right now. And
how's it going? How difficult is that? How much do you make and paying school fees and all that?
No, business is ups and downs. Yeah. Sometimes a day I'll get 100, sometimes 250. But I make sure to put some there because of her. Yes. And I managed to get all of them. I got a container out of it. But then my rent was due. So I have to sell the container to pay the rent, or else we stay outside. And I've not planned that too. So it's been a challenging, but then that is what I do. I don't have any other option. And if I say I'm stopping, how can we eat? That is what I do to earn a living. Yeah.
Does your daughter question you on some of these things? Does she see what you go through? Does she sometimes ask, Mommy, why are you going through this when Daddy is supposed to be around?
She mostly asks, Mommy, you said Daddy has traveled. When is she coming? When is he coming? I said, Baby, you come, okay? And we normally have our morning devotion. And when she's going to school, I pray with her. But sometimes, if I'm praying with her and she sees tears flowing in me, she can be like, crying. No, I'm praying. I'm praying. But I know what my crying is for.
What have you lost in all these things you're going through? What are some of the things that you have lost in life when you look at it, that if it wasn't for this, I could have been this, I could have been here, I could have done that? What are some of the valuable things that you've lost because of this?
A lot. A lot.
I know, for instance, your trip to Canada that had to be, put on hold because the
My music.
Your music career.
Yeah, my other businesses. My papers are a lot. And it has ruined everything. Everything. Everything.
Does your parents feel a bit disappointed in you for making such a decision? Has your dad expressed, or your mom, maybe they may be pastors and everything, but do they sometimes feel like, Amma, you could have done better with this, you could have taken your time? Do they express that sometimes?
They've not said it, but then you could see from their expression. Yeah, because I have to feed my parents. It's not my parent that has to feed me at this age, you see. So they can see it because of the love that they have for me. And my dad knows me. He really knows me. How much I put my effort. Because I remember 2016, I came here, 2017, and then my siblings came with me. We are like 6, including me.
Your second, third, fourth?
I'm the firstborn.
You're the first?
Yes.
Of 6?
Yeah, but we are 4, but then we have 2 extra 2 that they asked. So they all came on vacation like 1 month, and my mom was like, Mommy, you've done well. Even a day. And I don't stay in the house, like I said. I go minister this place, minister that, and gather the money, go to go bring dresses, when I come, I go to this place.
The market?
There's a radio station.
Oh, okay.
Vision 1.
Yeah.
Yes. That's where I started. I auditioned there. So most of the time, I backed them. Because I came to do like, yes. Although it's not paid, but what they give artists. So that's what I've been gathering. So if I say that, if not for this, I'm somewhere. I know myself and I know what I'm talking of. Yeah. My friend is my business. I don't. This is it.
I was asking, is he aware you want to leave the marriage? Have you told him that several times? And what did he say? Have you called him to say that, you know what, if you're not interested, let me go?
I asked him. There that I heard that he said he would not leave me. I'll pack my things. He will not divorce me. I'll pack my things.
How does he mean by that? Because the only way you can be legally yourself is when he does the right thing.
I can't tell. As I'm telling you right now, I don't know. Even when we sat down, my daddy asked him, what is it at all that you are using to stand on that you don't want to continue the marriage with my daughter? What he said was that Amma is good. In quote, Amma is good. And my dad asked him, how can he use good to divorce my daughter. He did not say anything, like 20 minutes. Then my dad said, since he has come to say that he is not interested again, then it means he is ready. So he should not forget, we are from the royal family. 2, he went to sign at the court. So since he is saying that, meaning he is ready in all those processes. So the father, the man of God that stood in as the father, called him and said, please, I'm coming. Does he understand?
I think beyond the legal, maybe we can refer her to see somebody for counseling or something, because, you know, the whole divorce process has a toll on the individuals that go through the process. So it's not enough to just go through the legal processes and then just push the person out there. Because when they sleep and they wake up, these thoughts hound them. You know, what did I do? Why do I deserve to be treated this way, amongst others? And so I believe that beyond having a legal approach to getting justice, I believe strongly that she is pursuing justice. We also need to, you know, refer or have a counselor. If somebody is listening and the person is a trained, certified counselor with experience in these areas, and then the person can reach out and help.
I think we made an arrangement for that as well. So, like you rightly said, it's somebody who wakes up and prays for the daughter and start crying. Obviously, all is not well.
Exactly.
Aside all the legal aspect that she may want to even take, you know, in making this.
Otherwise,
situation.
we'll finish the process, go through, get the marriage dissolved,
and everything for you.
We'll get custody for her, maybe even alimony for her, and then the husband will be paying all the issues, but it's still going to operate on her mind. And you know, when you move on with the past operating on your mind, you never really move on. And you may end up bringing all of that into the new place you move to. And so it's good, it's prudent, it's helpful that we have her connected to a counselor, somebody that can help her move away from this place, you know, emotionally, whilst the legal team also handle the legal aspect of this whole divorce process.
Do you sometimes get a bit overburdened about what you're going through? Do you sometimes feel like there's a certain weight on your shoulder because you never wanted to go through divorce or go through the kind of marriage you've gone through?
Yes. I never planned. I didn't know that it will end this way. Yes.
Has there been points where it's been extreme that you feel that you wish you never left? You wish you were dead?
Actually, it has never come in my mind like that. But then the reason is I know God will make a way. Yes. That is the only thing I have.
So if you have a lawyer now that is ready to help you go through the process of divorce, like our lawyer said, you don't even need him to be around to say A or B. Wherever he is, once the process begins, they will serve him. If you have a lawyer right now who wants to take you through all of that, would you accept, or you would want to give a second chance? Maybe he may just come up and say that, you know what, I've been this, but I want to be better. Can we move on and continue with this? If that happens to you, is it another option that you're ready to explore?
I'll allow the lawyer to come in the way divorce.
You don't want the marriage again?
No, please.
You can't forgive him?
I've forgiven him, but I can't stay with him.
If he comes to the family to beg, apologize to you for everything he has done to you and the kid, you still wouldn't want to move on with him?
No, please.
Even without your daughter in the picture?
That is his father. So father and son, daughter relationship, it should be there. But me, we are friends. We can't be lovers again. Based on what he has done to me. he has ruined my life, but I will not say that. I will not say that. I'm in my preparation journey, so I will not say that he has ruined my life.
Did you know any of his friends? Were you close to any of his friends?
Yes. And when he left the house, he used to stay with them.
Or he was calling with the friends, rather?
Yes.
They didn't tell you, you didn't speak to them?
Recently, one of them, his wife came from the US, and the woman called me. She invited me to the house. So I went with my daughter. And unfortunately for her, when she saw me and my daughter, she started crying.
The friend's wife started crying,
yes.
The one that came from the US?
She started crying.
Did she tell you why?
She said, I've done well. I've really done well. I've really done well.
I'm sorry about all this, but...
Where does Amma stay right now? In Accra or in Kaswa?
The friends?
No, she herself.
Where do you stay? Kaswa? Your parents are there?
Takrady.
Takrady.
Yeah.
So you live there alone now?
Yes, with my daughter. Yeah.
Which was rented by you?
Yes, please.
And it's going to be due when?
It's even due.
The rent is due?
Yes, it's due again. But I pay every month to the landlord, but he gave me a notice that he's come to renovate the place. So I told him.
So it means literally he wants you to move out?
But the relationship I have with him, I know he will not throw me out of the house. God will make a way before that will happen.
I'm really sorry you have to go through all this, but how do we go about this? Like, is there a way to speed process for this? It keeps drowning her, you know. I mean, if you listen to her, it keeps drowning her. How do we make this?
Once you know the decision is made, once she's, you know, firm in her mind that this is the direction that she wants to go, I mean, we can start the process ASAP so that as quick as possible she can have her emancipation, and then she can be free to do with her life as she chooses. Like she said, she's still young, she still has a lot of life ahead, and she can turn her life around. And so once the decision has been made, I mean, after the show, we'll have a conversation and then see how we can help her to, you know, go through this process, you know, legally, and then also have a counselor help her go through or deal with the emotional aspect of it, so that it doesn't, all of these emotions do not move to affect the child. Yeah. Because there's an innocent child involved and a daughter for that fact. And so we want to make sure that the whole process is done in such a way that everybody comes out, you know, in a win-win situation.
Okay. It looks as if as for this, we'll make it a personal Prime Warning project for you to handle for us, because I don't know how. Well, we're going to move from this stage, but I know definitely there'll be a way out. If you just join us here on the show, this is our divorce series, and Amma is my guest in the studio, and she's telling us about her story, what she's gone through, and lawyers helping us also understand the issue better. I've got some of your messages that I'm reading them, so there's one over here. Let me try and see. This one says that, good morning, I've been married for 14 years. Later last few years, my husband started showing up some attitude I never understand. I got pregnant and came to my parent place, and that was it. He came back accusing me that the baby is not his and bringing past issues which happened 10 years ago, and that he can't marry me again. I gave birth and he never took care of the child. We already have 2 boys. Family called both of us to solve the issue. I took him to apologize so that peace will reign. After 2 years, we started talking on phone, trying to make him understand the kids need him. My last born is 3 years now, but he has never contributed in his well-being, and he has decided not to pay the 2 kids' school fees as well. I don't know. This one says, let me try and get another message over here. It says, hi, good morning. My name is Amando from JJT. My girlfriend ran away, leaving a 3-year-old daughter with me for about 5 months now. My daughter always points to a picture of her mother on our wall in the room, that she wants to go to the mother. So I told my girlfriend to come for her daughter to stay with her. She agreed, but then she took our daughter to a certain friend of hers to take care of our daughter. Now my problem is this: growing up, I have suffered in the hands of people my parents left me with. So I don't want my children to ever experience anything of that traumatic situations. And so therefore, I told her I needed my daughter back to me, and she said, "Hell no. Can I sue her in the court of law, or I stand no chance to win my own daughter? I'm working and I can take care of my daughter the best way I can. Please, I need your advice."
Okay. So the girlfriend working? We don't know.
He didn't state that, but the fact that it's with certain friends, which he's had an experience, he doesn't want it to repeat itself.
Yes. So
he wants the baby back.
You can have an application at the court once again. And then your sole purpose is to tell the court that you have this daughter, and then the daughter is not with the mother, but rather with friends. And if you can demonstrate to the court how that will have a negative impact on that child, yes, you stand the chance of, convincing the court,
Especially he's working now in the capacity of taking care of the child.
Yes.
That's a plus.
Poverty really is not an excuse to say that you should have custody of the child. The court can order you to make those financial arrangements for the mother so that the child can, live in a very safe environment the way you would want to provide for that kid. But here the issue really is the mother appears from the scenario not to be interested in going through the upbringing stage of the child. And the thorny part of this, it's a female kid. And so there's a lot that need to go in to convince the court to have custody of that child. It's not impossible. I believe that with the right set of information and then convincing, I think the court may rule in his favor.
All right. This was a couple married by ordinance in Ghana, and their children were born in USA. Where does the divorce process start to determine separation, children custody, and distribution of assets, if any? This is a follow-up to my first question. So I want to believe. Okay. All right. So I think it's something we've dealt with before.
Married in Ghana, divorce will be in Ghana. Custody and all of that will be determined by Ghanaian law, except the property is acquired outside Ghana.
Okay.
And then usually when it comes to property, is what we refer to as lex situs, the law of where the property is. And so the country where the property is will regulate how their laws on immovable property or land law will deal with those kind of assets.
Okay. We have to go, but before we go, do you need any other thing you want people to support you with? Is there, as for counseling and all that, yes, but is there something on your heart you want to let people know, and we can take it from there?
I saw the container and hawking to the time that my baby will close. Though sometimes she'll be alone at the school there before I go and take her. Like sometimes to 7, 8 before cooking dinner. Or if I'll get a shop, then do my business, I'll be happy. Yeah.
So at least it wouldn't make you go hawking and all that happened there, at least.
I will also plan of getting a letter come there with the teachers or any other person, or if I will go and pick their hair from there. Since I'm having a shop, I can cook there, she'll eat before we go.
And how much do you think we're looking at in terms of the capital to begin that? Have you thought about it? Have you put it into plan? But how much do you think, in average, if we're able to?
7,000.
7,000?
Yes, please.
That can work, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah. So we want to do this appeal. I think that it's important that we all, support each other, and I'm sure we all know about this. This is a prime warning project that we've put on our hands, and we want to ensure that we're able to change certain situations. And so we want to appeal with the everything that we have in our hearts, to everyone out there who's watching, that if you can help Amma, please let us know. Our WhatsApp line is on your screen. You can send your messages over there, the CEOs, the big men. If you think that you can support, any way you can support Amma. There are many other issues like Amma out there, but she took a bold step and came here, met with our team and said, you know what, I think I need help. I'm going through this, and it's because of my daughter I want to do this. And so please, I want the world to hear my story. We're going to do the best we can over here. Our counselors, our lawyers, they're all going to help. But if you're also out there financially, if you want to support, not Amma, by the little girl who is 4 years old, kindly get in touch with us. Our WhatsApp line is on your screens. No matter, how much you want to give us to support her. She needs only 7,000. If we even run it up to 10,000 Ghana cedis, so that when she gets the shop, the container, she'll be able to put the things in there with the remaining 3,000, or even take care of the daughter. Would very much appreciate you. It's a month project that we've taken on our hands, and we need your support. We need your help. So please, help us. And okay, so we've had my very brother over here, Nathaniel Atto, and the Boxing Association have pledged to support Amma. You can also pledge to support her, and any amount you want to. We're looking at 10,000 or even more, because she needs a kiosk. She has to take care of the kid and all of that. So before we even go through the processes of divorce and all that, if you can help, we're pleading with you. We beg you, kindly support us. We've put a lot of effort into this because it's a very serious issue that we all need to take a look at, and so we need your help. Thank you so much for doing this for us in advance. Lawyer, thank you so much for coming this morning again.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
And lawyer is going to help us, go through the process as well. He's going to get to speak to Amma privately as well, so we take it from there. But thanks to you for also, not turning your attention elsewhere anytime we come to speak about the divorce issue, and your contributions and all, we appreciate them. Keep them coming. And once again, please, let's do well and support Amma the very best way we can.